What's up guys, Constech here, back again for another video. This time we'll have a look at the Machenike M620, an ultra-lightweight gaming mouse featuring a top sensor and a couple more features. Machenike sent this over, but note that it will not be affecting my review in any way. I will be reviewing this mouse as objectively as possible and base recommendations in my own perspective. To those who don't know yet, Machenike is a company based in China that makes quality gaming laptops and peripherals at very competitive prices. I'll leave a link to their Lazada store in the description. Okay, enough with the introduction. Let's get started. Before everything else, let's quickly unbox this and check out what's inside. The mouse comes in two color schemes, black and white. We're unboxing the white variant for this review. So the box comes with a manual, a warranty card, if my translation here was correct, a QA pass card, and the mouse itself. The mouse weighs at 65 grams, measures 125mm long, 66mm at its widest point, and 37mm at its highest point. It has 6 programmable buttons, 1.8-meter braided cable, and a gold-plated USB connector. At the bottom, we can see the switch for enabling RGB illumination, 4 PTFE mouse gates, and the sensor lens at the middle. It's a symmetric mouse with the side buttons on the left side, which favors right-handed users. Left-handed users can still use it, but I think the side buttons should be disabled to prevent accidental presses. It sports the Pixart PMW3389 sensor, has a DPI range of 100 to 16,000, 125 to 1000 Hz polling rate, tracking speed of 400 IPS, and 50G acceleration. It has a liftoff distance of 1mm before the sensor completely loses track. This is especially useful for those that play on very low sensitivity. Now at first glance, the mouse has a striking resemblance to the glorious Model O. Not to mention it almost has the same measurements and weight. Well, I don't own a Model O yet, so this review will be based from my own observations and opinion. To start off, the mouse has excellent build quality. Personally, I think mice featuring a honeycomb design like this are not sturdy. But I guess I was wrong. It doesn't rattle and the parts all feel very intact. It doesn't creak when I squeeze it at the sides. It creaks a bit when I squeeze it from the top like this, but it's understandable. And I don't think anyone would actually exert pressure on their mouse like that anyway. Overall, very solid build. Cable's decent enough for the most part. It's soft and light enough to not interfere with the mouse movements. The mouse has a somewhat textured finish, though I really prefer a rougher one. I have sweaty hands, that's why. But this'll pass for me and for most folks out there. The mouse has its hump at the middle and slopes gradually to the back. It also has grooves on the sides and on the main buttons for grip support. One thing I find interesting with this mouse is the shape. I've been accustomed to egg-shaped mice for a while and I use a fingertip grip. When I first started using this mouse, it was a bit difficult to fingertip grip, mainly due to the back part often hitting my palm. As you can see, comparing it with my Ajaz i303 and G102, the M620 is noticeably longer. So I made adjustments and discovered palm or claw is the most ideal grip for this mouse. I sometimes revert back to my fingertip grip with some minor adjustments, but overall, it felt much comfortable on palm or claw grip for me. Just for reference, my hand measures about 18 centimeters long and 10 centimeters wide. If you have longer hands than me, I think you'll be fine with fingertip grip without having to adjust at all. Otherwise, palm or claw grip. Those with smaller hands should really palm or claw grip this mouse. And I'd say those who have 14 centimeters and below should find a smaller mouse instead. The main buttons use Omron switches, rated at 20 million clicks. I think this is starting to become very common for most mainstream gaming mice due to its light and quick actuations. They have short travel and a satisfying click. The rubberized scroll wheel has very subtle steps and feels very light when pressed. This is one of the lightest scroll wheel I've had so far. I just noticed some scratchiness on it when scrolling too fast, but nonetheless, it serves its purpose. Side buttons are tactile and snappy. I find them easy to access on palm grip, but I struggle reaching the forward button when I use fingertip grip, since I had to move my hand slightly to the back to compensate for the mouse length. I like how small the DPI button is as it prevents any accidental presses when I use the scroll wheel. It's light to press as well but has a very low profile to ensure it doesn't get in the way of your fingers. By default, this mouse has 6 DPI presets, which are quite a lot. They can be easily disabled through the software, so that's not an issue. Each of the 6 buttons of the M620 can be customized through the software with keybinds and macros. For now, have a listen to the clicks. It's worth noting that this mouse packs a Pixart BMW 3389 sensor, which is considered one of the top sensors in today's standards. As expected, it performs very smoothly, tracks pixel by pixel, and has no issues tracking very fast movements. As you can see here, the mouse doesn't spin out no matter how fast I swipe it. As long as I don't go beyond the 1mm liftoff distance, the M620 would track every bit of movement no matter how fast or slow it is. Just like any decent sensor, I did not notice any jitter and it has zero angle snapping, or what others would call smoothing. Smoothing is a feature incorporated on cheap and budget sensors to correct mouse movements and control mouse jitter. Ideally, the human hand cannot make a perfectly straight line, but with smoothing, the sensor predicts that and it tries to correct the mouse movement, resulting in a perfectly straight line, like this. This is really bad, especially for a gaming mouse since it will cause inconsistency with aiming and just about everything. Mid-range to high-end sensors today have long eliminated that feature and focus more on accurately tracking every raw movement a mouse makes. And of course, what's a gaming mouse without RGB? The mouse features a rather simple but elegant RGB strip at its back, which transitions smoothly across the RGB spectrum. The light can be customized through the software with 9 presets to choose from. There's still an option to choose a specific color palette for some of the settings as well. The Machenike logo inside and the scroll wheel illumination acts as the DPI indicator. It does not, however, sync with the RGB strip. By the way, every customization you do through the software immediately gets saved to its onboard memory, which means you can customize the mouse parameters and connect the mouse to another device without having to reconfigure everything. So how does the Machenike M620 perform? Well, I'd say it's really good. I've been using this mouse for over a week now and I can say I've already adjusted to it. Everything about this mouse feels light, from the weight, glide, buttons, down to the cable. It's not wireless, but it's very light and I can live with wires as long as it does not interfere with my mouse movements. Overall, it has been a very relaxing experience. The mouse is so light, it doesn't feel like holding a mouse at all. Gaming performance is great, as I would expect from a mouse with a top sensor. And I really like that I can fine-tune the DPI to suit my needs. I use 400 DPI on FPS games and 800 DPI for everything else. Sometimes I go with 1200 when working since I work with 2 monitors. I don't find the need of customizing keybinds and macros yet, but it's nice that it's there in case I need it. The mouse skates could be a little thicker, but it glides smoothly nonetheless. I guess the weight can account to that too. And I think that's the main selling point of this mouse. The fact that it's very light allows for quick and accurate movements with ease. The only thing that worries me is the honeycomb design. Well, as you already know, I have really sweaty hands and I fear moisture and dirt can easily get inside the mouse because of those holes. According to the website, the components inside have been coated to resist moisture and dirt, and I did ask Machenike if their mouse has been certified with an IP56 rating. They gave me this video instead. Well, I guess even without that certification, the mouse is resistant enough to a little sweat and dirt getting inside it, right? Overall, I am very pleased with the Machenike M620 and would recommend it to anyone looking for a high-performance, ultra-lightweight gaming mouse. As long as your hands are not too small, This mouse should fit perfectly, especially if you use palm or claw grip. I think this would appeal to most competitive gamers on a budget with its price tag of only 2,000 pesos. It's really hard to find a mouse at this price point that's ultralight and with specs and features you'll likely find on the more pricier ones. That's it for this video. Big thanks to Machenike for sending this in, and huge thanks to you guys because as of this moment, we just hit 1,000 subscribers. And as promised, I am giving away a Fantech Venom WGC1 wireless gaming mouse and a GigaWare K550 mechanical keyboard. Initially, I thought of giving away a K28, but I think the K550 has better value due to it being a hot swap keyboard. Check out the pinned comment in this video for the instructions, and don't forget, like, dislike, comment down if you have questions or anything to say, get subscribed so you don't miss out on my next uploads, and as always, thanks for watching and see you guys soon.